fresh out the oven. What is cracking, everybody? It's MegapiemanPHD here, and welcome to a kind of look at my map sort of thing for Turf Whiskeyriver A13. That is right, there are 13 versions of this map, and I've only been working on this map for the past 72 hours, because this map is the map that I created for the tf2maps.net Winter 2015 72-hour mapping contest spectacular special thing. Basically, I had 72 hours to make a map and then submit it and get people to actually vote on it, whether they like it or not. Now, I was able to get this done a little bit early. It is currently 2:31 p.m. Monday, January 26th, 2015. And the contest ends at 4 p.m. today. So I'm like a little bit early. I'm like a couple hours early. Just 1 or 2.5 hours early, something like that. But this map's actually finished, and it is submitted. So, there's going to be a link to the description. I don't know if I'm going to get this video out before it's 4 o'clock today, but there'll be a link in the video description so that you can go and download it, and you can play it, and you can let me know what you think about it. And I'm very, very interested in feedback on this map, particularly because I tried to do something very different here. Now, the last one I did, the last 72-hour contest I did was for, the map I made was Farm 51. And I don't know if you guys remember that map. I did look at my maps video on it. But I don't think it was that good of a map. It was just a basic King of the Hill map. Nothing really special there. Layout kind of sucked. But my main goal for that was just to get a map that looked decent done within 72 hours. And I did. I got a map, and Farm 51 looked pretty good. Now, this map, you'll notice, is very, very blocky, and there's not a lot of detailing on it. That's because I had to forego a lot of detailing just to get the thing done, because I decided that I was going to play around with stuff this 72-hour contest, and I decided to make, basically, a new kind of game mode. Yeah, great. Now, the game mode that I created, I call Turf. It is loosely based off of Turf War from Uncharted 2 and possibly other video games as well, in which there is a point to capture, and then once that point is captured by one team, the other team has to then take the point back, and then it picks a different spot for the point to be. And that's exactly what happens here. So there are 3 caps. Basically, there are 3 hills. It's a variant of King of the Hill. There are 3 hills to pick from. There is Hill A, Hill B, and Hill C. We saw Hill A earlier. This is Hill C, and Hill B is over here on the right side. Now, each one is exactly the same distance from the spawn. That's something I definitely wanted to do. It's basically... Let's look at the note clip here for a second. I had to set my sheets. Sheets 1. Note clip. There we go. So... as you can see, the map is kind of a triangle shape, and I did that on purpose because I wanted all of the points to be equal distance from each other, so it's like over here, right over there in this building, that's B, and that's on red side, and that's like right next to that one. So, this is red spawn. So red spawn is equal distance from B, and pretty much equal distance to C, and then they have A that's over here, and the exact same thing with blue spawn. Blue spawn has A nearby, but B's all around the other side of the map, and C's like that. So, it's about as fair as I could think to make it. My original idea when it came up to coming up with this particular game type was 5 points, but I just did not have the time to be able to do that. There's no way I would have the time to make 5 points. I barely was able to get done this. Is that... I don't think this island right there is actually lined up at the middle of the map. But, yeah, whatever. It works. It works. It's fine. There's nothing I can do about it now. But, yeah, so I have 3 points. And at the start of a round, it randomly picks a point to activate. And then, if your team goes and captures that point, you have that, and it starts the countdown at the top of the screen of your timers, just like a normal hill. But if the other team captures the current point that you already own, then the countdown will stop, and it'll randomly pick a different point to go with. Now, the biggest issue that I had when trying to make this game type was getting players to understand what was happening when, and which one of the capture points was active at that point. And I don't think I was able to really pull that off all that well. If I had a custom HUD, I think it would be a little bit easier, or a little bit of custom, I don't know, something. I wanted to make it so that the points glowed, and I could actually get the points to glow, but I couldn't get the points to, like... I could get them to glow, I could get them to stop glowing, but I couldn't get them to glow, then stop, then start again. So I gotta go with what I had, and this is what I got for the moment. It works. It's probably going to be a bit confusing until you get an idea of what's going on with the map, and there's nothing really super great to help inform you about which map to go, which point to go to, unless it's right after you capture a point. So what I mean, let's actually go to the current objective, which is B right here. So let me go cap that as blue. It takes 12 seconds to capture. For some reason, with the capture spin thing, it's all kind of glitched in and everything. Instead of being smooth around the circle, it moves in chunks. I don't know why it does that. I can't fix that. I have no idea why it does that. There's no reason for it, but it does. I need to switch. I want to switch team. I want the switch team button. Yeah, no, the switch team button. There we go. Let's go to red team here quick. And then we'll go and re-grab the points from blue, and you'll see what happens. Oh, good! I got a Naughty Winter crate from 2014. Fantastic! This game and its crates. It's not like I'm going to buy a key. I do not have like $2 to dish out to buy a key to open a virtual crate for a virtual item that I don't know what's in it. Okay. Let's no clip again. Go back over here quickly before the timer runs out. And recapture this. As you see, the timer's going down completely while B is under blue's ownership. But as soon as red captures B, and the lovely chunks, I don't know why it's in chunks. It's really annoying. You will see it says now, point C is the new hill, and it stopped the countdown. So now it picked a different one. It picked it at random. The one that it picked was C. So if we go over here to C, you will see that point C is now the point that is currently activated. And then, of course, being red team, I can then stand here, 12 seconds, and then grab it. Now, I probably should have changed the time when it came to the caps. The default time for King of the Hill is 12 seconds to capture it, and I didn't change that, nor did I mess around with changing respawn times, because I didn't have the time. Even though I didn't have the time for that, I did have the time for the loveliness that is... Where's it at? Where's it at? It's around here someplace. Where are you? There's the blimp. There's a blimp! And the blimp actually changes its skin depending upon who owns the current point. It slowly moves around the map. It's in the skybox, and its skin will actually change. Currently, red owns the point, so it is red. So, yeah. I had time for that. I didn't have time for other stuff for some reason. But now it'll go like this, and then if I switch back to blue team, you'll notice that there's some sound effects going on. You notice that the sound effects don't really have anything to do with what's actually... Stop giving me stuff! I don't want to find things! I found a crate and I found a weapon I don't care about. I don't care about. That guy's... scout's dead in the ground. That's a shame. But yeah, you'll be hearing that the current background noise for this particular area is like computers! Why? I was using some soundscape prefabs. They actually allowed you to use a certain guy, a guy by the name of a Boon Jam Snark. I don't know what that means, in all honesty. I have no idea what it means. Why did I switch to red team? I wanted to be on blue team, didn't I? Yes, I want to be on blue team. Why did I switch to red team? But a guy by the name of a Boon Jam Snark has a prefab, which is basically, it's a program that you run and it adds things to the Hammer editor, which you use to make maps, which allows you to just click on this specific soundscape and place it instead of having to create one yourself. And that's what I did. And I went by what they were titled. And it ended up not necessarily being what I thought it would be for a lot of the sounds. So some of these soundscapes don't make a lot of sense. Like how we have the sound of computers beeping and printers printing when I'm in a cave. And neither is happening. But what you gonna do? There's nothing I can do about it right now.
We have secured the control point.
B is the new hill. Okay. Something else that was having some weird issues with is that this these decals right here, these overlays, like this B right there. There is multiple ones. There's one for A, there's one for B, and one for C, and there's a red and blue version of both of them. See, here's the blue B, and then there's the red B over there. But for some reason, they're from the map CP stand-in, which is a somewhat recently added map to TF2. But the one for A will not show up. I don't know if it's just my version of TF2 that it won't show up, and then other people have this problem, but mine it won't show up. It's just not there. It's supposed to be an A right there, but it's not there. But now B was picked, so if we go back here and then capture B again, we can continue that way, and it'll do the same thing for A. Eventually, it'll pick A, but it's always random, and it's designed that it will never pick the exact same one. So as you see, nobody owns it. That now the blimp it doesn't have any kind of color on it, but it will never pick. It'll never go from B to B. When B is reclaimed, if it's captured by one team, then reclaimed by the other team, it will always go to either A or C. And the same thing with all the points. So it'll never go back to the exact same point. I have no confidence in the current layout of this map. I don't know if I've said that before, but I really don't. I don't think it's all that good. I think it's very, very cramped. The problem that I came across is once I got a lot of the layout set up, I realized that I had a lot of really large sight lines. I still have some pretty large sight lines, but I didn't have a lot of space. I didn't give myself a lot of horizontal space. I've got a good amount of vertical space. I didn't have a lot of horizontal space, so everything's kind of cramped together, and I wanted to block off sight lines, and I don't know if the layout's any good. I did get the chance to test it a little bit. I got a little bit of testing on the tf2maps.net server. Of course, it wasn't this version of the map. It was a different version of the map because this version of the map wasn't ready yet. But yeah. And the people were like, this map is kind of interesting, but, of course, back then, when I got it tested then, the game type was actually broken, so I had to go and fix it. But let me know in the comment section what you think of this turf war idea. My thought process for this particular map is I'm using this as basically a prototype. I don't expect to actually take this map and work on it to the point that I can actually finish it, just because of how it was built. It was built very quickly to try to get a little bit of everything done. I forwent all optimization. This map does not have any optimization in it outside of the fact that it uses a 3D skybox. There's no optimization. There's no area portals. There's no fades. There's no hit brushes. There is nothing to make this map run smoothly. Currently, I'm getting a good 60 FPS on it. But then again, some people don't, depending upon what computer they have. So, yeah, optimization is not good on this at all. My skybox, I don't know if for those of you who don't necessarily use Hammer probably won't get what I'm talking about here. But my skybox is just one big hollowed out square. And that is it. Normally, I'll do the big hollowed out square, and then as I develop more, once I get a few tests in and get the layout down, then I'll do a big pass where I'll set the skybox up correctly. That way I don't have to constantly set the skyboxes up. It's a pain in the butt. And I've been learning a lot about optimization. I didn't used to know a lot for optimization, but I've been learning a lot for it when it comes to my current optimization of CTF Coffeeville, which is what I'm doing with that map right now. That's where it is at development. It's working on, I'm working on giving it a big optimization pass, as well as changing up a little bit of the layout before I officially move that into beta. But this was just a nice fun thing to work on something different that wasn't Coffeeville again, and to try to branch out a bit and try to create this game type. I'm thinking after Coffeeville's done, I'm going to return to this game type. I don't know if I'll return to this map in particular, but I think I will return to this game type and at least try to make a map that works really well, and possibly see if I can find someone who could help me make a custom HUD, or that would help people, know where they need to go, and something that I could do to try to help people know where they need to go. Because I think this game type really would work well in TF2. The biggest problem is, of course, just figuring out how to make sure players know where to go when. The only thing that I have that currently shows that off is this point isn't activated, so it doesn't have that big question mark on it. The only activated points have the big question mark on it, which is how you know which particular point. It's going between, there's B again. It's going between B and C for some reason, but only these activated points have the question mark on them, which means that is the current point that needs to be taken. So, yeah. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section. That's pretty much all I got. The download to it, if you're interested in checking it out, will be in the description of the video for TF2maps.net contest. I missed that little spot right there, man. At the end of the contest, voting will open, so I'll probably put a link there to see if I can get some votes. If you guys like the map, vote for the map. If you don't like the map, don't vote for it. There's supposed to be an A here, and there's supposed to be a C there, but they're not. But if you like the map, vote for it. If you don't like the map, don't vote for it. I mean, be fair. Don't just vote for it because I told you to vote for it. I'm not the only person who put a lot of work into the map for the 72-hour mapping contest. There were a lot of entrants. There's another one I missed that picture. There's a good amount of entrants, and they're still pouring in until it's 4 o'clock. They're still pouring in. They got a little bit over an hour to keep getting their maps finished and ready to go. So take a look at all of the maps and only vote for the ones that you actually like. Don't vote for this because I ask you to. Don't vote for other ones because other people ask you to. Vote for the ones... Man, I missed that too. Man, dang it. But vote for the one you think is actually good. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching. I'm MegapieMan, and I'll talk to you guys later.